Today in the kitchen, we're cooking up some gingerbread cookies. I've gathered all the ingredients and we're gonna get started. I've let the butter cool to room temperature and I'm gonna start with 2 sticks of butter, which is gonna be 1 cup of butter. And I'm gonna add that to the KitchenAid mixer. And I'm going to beat the butter for just 1 minute. And we're going to cream the butter and the sugar together, and I'm going to use 1 cup of sugar. And I'm going to slowly pour the sugar into the butter as it is mixing. We're going to continue to mix this until it is light and fluffy, and we're going to mix this for about 3 minutes. It's been beating for about 3 minutes, and now we're going to add in the egg, molasses, and vinegar. I'm using 1 egg. I'm going to crack it into a small bowl, making sure that I'm not going to get any eggshell into the mixer. And then once you have that cracked, just pour it right into the KitchenAid mixer bowl. And then we have molasses, and we're using 1 cup of molasses. And then just pour that in. And if you need to, you can scrape the molasses out of the measuring cup. It does get sticky. And then we're using vinegar, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and then that will just go right into the mixing bowl. And then we're going to mix that up for a couple of minutes. That's done mixing, and I have 5 cups gluten-free flour. I'm using the Just About gluten-free all-purpose flour. And I'm mixing all the dry ingredients in a separate bowl. I'm going to add in cinnamon, 1 teaspoon, ground cloves, 1 teaspoon, ginger, 2 teaspoons, salt, 1/2 teaspoon, and I'm going to stir that all together. We have this all mixed up, and I'm going to turn on the KitchenAid mixer, and I'm going to add in the flour mixture a spoonful at a time. With this recipe, I am using the Just About gluten-free flour, and it is a cup for cup measurement, so you can use any gluten-free flour that is a cup for cup measurement. However, if you are not gluten-free, you can use just regular all-purpose flour with the same measurements of 5 cups of flour with this recipe. And then I'm just slowly adding in the flour and continuing for it to mix slowly together. I've mixed in all the flour, and now I'm going to turn the KitchenAid mixer off and we're going to scrape it out. I've laid out wax paper. I have 2 of them because I'm just going to pour it out and then I'm going to half it into 2. I'm using a silicone spatula to help scrape it out of the bowl. It is going to be a little bit sticky. I've poured it out into 1 wax paper and I'm going to just smush it a little bit together so that I can half it. And then just take a knife and cut it in half. And then I'm going to place the one side into the other wax paper. And then just smush it down into the wax paper and to form a log. And you can use the wax paper to help form that. And then just wrap the wax paper over the cookie dough and then twist the ends. And then you're just going to do the same thing with the second dough. We have both of these wrapped up, and then we're going to place them into the refrigerator between 30 and 90 minutes depending on how long that you want them in there. You can even have them in there in the freezer, or you can have them in the fridge overnight until you're ready to make them. When the dough is done chilling, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to roll out some more wax paper. And I'm using the gingerbread cookie cutter. And I've got 1 dough, the other one I put in the freezer and I'm gonna make that later. So I'm only using 1 dough, and then I have a rolling pin and I'm gonna add some flour to the wax paper. And then just generously sprinkle that over the wax paper. And then I'm just going to put the gingerbread cookie dough onto the wax paper with the flour. And then I'm also going to want to put some flour onto the rolling pin. And then we're just going to work the cookie dough and roll it out. You want it to be about 1/2 inch thick. And you can roll it out in all different directions to help the dough to roll out to the 1/2 inch. I've got it all rolled out, and now I'm using the gingerbread man cookie cutter, and I'm just gonna cut it through the dough by pressing down firmly. And I'm trying to space them as close together as I can so that I don't have to keep rolling it out several times. However, with the scraps, you will roll it out again, but we don't want to be rolling it out too much. And then I can turn it upside down and do it sideways to get them as close together as I can. That's about all that I can fit with that rolled out dough, and I'm going to take out the gingerbread man and then we will re-roll from the scraps. So I'm just going to place them onto a baking sheet. These cookies don't spread out very much, so you can put them close together. That's the last one. So with the scraps, I'm going to take them and I'm going to roll it back out. And then we're going to cut out as many as we can from this rolled out dough. And then I'm going to take these scraps and re-roll them out, and we'll just continue re-rolling the scraps as needed, but I think this might be the last roll out that we might need. I might be able to get a couple more out, so I will do one more roll out. When you get to the very end, you can just take the cookie cutter and then just place the dough inside the cookie cutter instead of rolling it out, so that you can get a better shape by just smushing in the dough into the cookie cutter. Once you have it formed to the cookie cutter, then just gently push it out of the cookie cutter. And then you have your last one without having to lose any of the dough as scraps. With this half of the dough, we got 27 gingerbread men that we cut out. And now they're ready to go into the oven, and we previously preheated the oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to cook it at 350 degrees for 9 to 11 minutes. These have been cooking for 10 minutes and they're ready to come out of the oven. We're going to let them cool for about 5 minutes. While you're letting them cool, you can just take a spatula and just kind of lift them up from the pan. Okay, I've also taken them and put them on a cooling rack after I let them cool for 5 minutes. And this is what they look like after they have cooled down. And this is what it looks like on the inside of the cookie. After they have cooled down, you can place them onto a serving platter. And they're ready to serve. You can serve them just like this with no icing or decorations on them if you would like. You can also add icing and decorations to them by using 1 cup powdered sugar and 2 tablespoons of milk. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon at first, mix it up, and then add in the next tablespoon of milk. Okay, I have that all mixed together, and I'm just going to take one of the gingerbread man and dip it into the icing, and then just kind of let that drip off the excess of the icing. And then once that has dripped off a little bit, we're going to dunk them back in, skimming the top, and it should have a good amount of icing on them. I'm just going to do a couple more, dipping them into the icing. You can even decorate them with mini M&Ms, giving them eyes and buttons. And a sprinkle for his mouth. Enjoy, dinner is served. Thank y'all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know if you tried gingerbread cookies. We'll see you next time in the kitchen.